Hello everyone, Ryan here. So I just saw the movie Mother, starring Jennifer Lawrence and Javier Bardem. Also Ed Harris. At least those are the most noteworthy actors. And this is kind of a trippy movie. I mean, it's artsy, but I guess it's mostly artsy, and I guess also kind of philosophical. And I mean, essentially, Javier Bardem and Jennifer Lawrence, they're supposed to be this couple, and they move into this old house, and I guess they're in the process of renovating it in some way, or at least remodeling it. And Javier Bardem, he's supposed to be, I guess, some kind of like really well-known poet of some kind. And at the same time, he's also in the process of writing, I guess, some new poetry collection of some kind. And Jennifer Lawrence, she pretty much just plays his, I guess you could say, doting wife. And then one day, Ed Harris, his character, shows up, and under the guise of being, under the guise of, like, he believed that, because at one point this old house where they're staying at, it used to be some kind of bed and breakfast. So Ed Harris's character tries to play it off as like, I was told this was still a bed and breakfast, and blah, 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 whatever. And it turns out that Ed Harris's character is actually like a diehard fan of Javier Bardem's character, which is this well-known poet. And at the same time, I guess, because Ed Harris's character is dying from some kind of terminal illness, and so he wanted to go and visit, have at least some kind of contact with, I guess, his favorite poet, which in itself, I guess, is understandable. Obviously, it's, who among us wouldn't want to do the same thing, so it's like, I kind of feel like I would. And then eventually things start getting a little weird, and I don't know, because it's never fully explained. Because then Jennifer Lawrence, her character starts to, I'm not sure if she's like, all of a sudden, like, experiencing these different, she's like feeling, I guess, I don't know, like what's possible as far as future events, or I don't know if it's just because she's nervous, or like experiencing some kind of severe anxiety, or maybe it's all of the above. I mean, I don't know. But she, nonetheless, she experiences these different weird things, and I mean, she herself, like, isn't even able to explain them, so it doesn't even really seem like she even really tries to figure them out anyways. So then some time passes, and then Ed Harris's character, he invites Michelle Pfeiffer over. Michelle Pfeiffer's in this movie. I don't know if she's supposed to be Ed Harris's wife, or like common law wife, or like life partner of some kind. I don't know. It's just one of many things that isn't explained in this movie. And then things start to get, a lot weirder, and and I guess, I don't know, at some point, Javier Bardem, I guess I want to say he completes his next poetry collection, or kind of completes it. I don't really remember that being explained as well. Again, another thing that's not really explained in this movie. And then some other stuff happens. A lot more weird stuff begins to happen. And, I don't want to give away too much. Essentially, it's kind of like this movie is. I want to say it's a commentary on fame, and pretty much I guess the absurdity of fame. And the fact that so many people ultimately end up, becoming so obsessed with, say, a work of literature, to the point where they become so obsessed with it, to the point where it's kind of like they consider it to be the word of God, quote unquote, the word of God in some kind of way. I guess technically it could also be a commentary on religion, and the fact that so many people tend to, without question, so many people will follow a particular text or particular, I don't know, a written word of some kind, and without question, and they ultimately just give over their entire selves to it, and to the point where it becomes highly ridiculous, highly ludicrous, and also very dangerous too. Which that aspect of this movie definitely resonated with me, definitely rang true, and but as far as everything else, I don't know, I guess everything else seemed to be just more like, I want to say mired in symbolism, metaphor, and but it's definitely interesting nonetheless. I mean, I will admit, it's definitely unlike any other movie I've seen. And granted, I mean, I'm trying to think of any other movie that could possibly be even remotely similar, and I can't really think of any. I pretty much drawing a blank. I would say it's definitely unlike any other movie that Jennifer Lawrence has been in. That's for sure. As far as Javier Bardem, I mean, I know he's been in a lot of other artsy movies, and so I would say probably for him, this movie really wasn't that much of a departure of any kind. Yeah, I don't know. And of course, one other thing I guess I will say is that towards the end, there was a couple scenes where it did get pretty disturbing. As again, I don't want to give too much of it away, but it was definitely pretty disturbing. But also interesting because then, eventually it's kind of it made me think about the different possibilities of where inspiration comes from, how it's made manifest, how it's utilized by different people, and at least for me, I mean, me being an artist, musician, writer, poet, and I guess, in that sense, it resonated a lot more with me. But otherwise, I would say, if you're easily offended, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you end up not liking this movie. I mean, for me, I guess as far as the rating goes, I would give it. I'd give it like solid 8.5 out of 10 at the bare minimum. Possibly even so much as a 9 out of 10, but definitely at least 8.5. Also, too, because I like that, Jennifer Lawrence in this, to me, it seemed like she stretched her acting chops in a different way. Yeah. I mean, now that I think about it, I've yet to see any movie in which Jennifer Lawrence didn't give a good performance. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just me. Maybe. So yeah, that pretty much does it for my review of this movie, Mother. And yeah, let me know if you've seen it. What were your thoughts about it and all that? So, as always, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And until next time, don't forget, keep it real, keep on rocking, and peace.